Hi YouTube, what is up? My name is November Williamson and I'm a psychiatric survivors advocate. And today I'm going to be talking about my recent hospitalization at Lakeview Behavioral Health in Norcross, Georgia. I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and it's a little outside of Atlanta. I'm going to tell you guys what led up to it. I have a new diagnosis and what I think about that and stuff like that. So what led up to it is I don't remember the last YouTube video I posted. I didn't look, but I think it's been a while. I've been kind of depressed. But what happened was, my friend Brian came like 4 weeks ago to repair our laundry room light. And ever since then, I've been like obsessed with electricity and shocking myself. So what happened was on Sunday, a couple of Sundays ago, first I was playing with the hairdryer and I put the hairdryer in the outlet and touched the outlet with my finger and my finger was wet. And then I put scissors in the outlet and touched the metal part with my hand. But the reason I was doing that was I felt like I had to. So I felt like I had to stick something in the toaster. So I'm like, and I was hallucinating a little bit, but it was more like an urge. So I went to the ER and I told them what happened. They did have to check it. My heart rate was a little high, which was due to anxiety, but they did do an EKG, which thank God turned out okay. My friend wasn't too happy about taking me to the hospital, but that's another story. He's over it now. We're all good. So I was at the normal people hospital, as I call it, for literally 4 hours. It was so quick. I was in and out. Like, they transferred me to Lakeview. I got there, like, at 11:30 at night. They transferred me at 4:30 in the morning. That's never happened before. That was so quick. And then when I got to Lakeview, I sat in a room for a little bit, and they put on these armband things. Looked like an Apple Watch without, like, the screen, like, kind of, like, same, like, boldness, like an Apple Watch. And it is not, I thought it was a GPS tracker, but it's not. What it is if you don't know much about mental hospitals, they have to do 15-minute checks. They have a piece of paper with everyone's name on it, so say November Williamson, and they'll say every 15 minutes they have to initial, and they have to put, like, there's, like, numbers. Like, number 1, maybe you're sleeping, number 2, maybe you're walking, stuff like that. But people would just sit there in the hallway and just check off everyone without actually laying eyes on them. So what these trackers do is they put them... They're using iPads. The staff use iPads. And what they do is they go around with the iPad and they have to check you off. And they actually have to be within range of your Bluetooth on you to check you off. So they have to lay eyes on you. So that's a good system. I didn't much like the Bluetooth wrist, but whatever. It took about 3 hours for me to get back to my unit, which is longer than Lakeview usually. I've been hospitalized 27 times, by the way. They took me 3 hours because there was a code purple on a unit, which is a psychiatric emergency. Once I got back there, Angie was back there, and she was so nice, you guys. Like, I was freaking out the first day. She was so nice. And the nurse, Nicole, was back there, and she was okay. But, they told me I could have my wig, and then another nurse told me I couldn't. But anyways, that's a different story. I was on the acute unit, which I think is where they put people who have psychosis, severe psychosis on that unit. And, excuse me. There were some people there that were so out of it. It was so sad to see because they're, like, so out of it. And they didn't realize, like, what day it was or why they were there or anything like that. Like, I was like, please, God, don't ever let that get to me where I'm so out of it, where I don't even know where I am or what I'm doing. That's, like, my biggest fear. But, they put me on the acute unit. The doctor told me he was going to see me. I came on a Monday morning. He told me he was going to see me on Monday, Dr. Figel. But he didn't see me until Tuesday, and he did apologize, which I did appreciate that he took his time out to apologize to me. But he really saw me for like 2 minutes, you guys. And then I've been diagnosed with OCD before. And if you don't know my diagnosis, there's schizoaffective, borderline personality disorder, PTSD, and anxiety. But now I have an OCD diagnosis because of that whole sticking stuff in the outlet shebang. So I got put on Luvox for OCD, with all my other meds. And the first day, the nurse, Nicole, she's like, it takes 72 hours to see the doctor. I was like, what? 72 hours? You know, it's usually 24 hours. And he saw me about 30 hours from me being there to when I saw him. But she did text him my meds, and they did get my meds squared away. But I was freaking out because it's like, I cannot go 72 hours without my meds. But she did, the nurse, Nicole, did text the medication list to the doctor, and I got on my normal meds. And then I saw the nurse practitioner. The doctor was like, I don't know if we have Luvox. And the nurse practitioner was like, oh yeah, we have that. I can put you on that. So yeah, let's see. I slept a lot of the day. A lot of the time they let us out of our room. I mean, a lot of the time they didn't lock us out of our room, which was nice. I mean, a couple of times they locked the doors, but mostly you could go in there and sleep all day, which was nice. The only thing I don't like about Lakeview is there's no really outside area. Like, there's a gym and there's a breezeway to go to the gym. But other than that, you're not outside. I was in the basement. The acute unit's in the basement. Well, the cafeteria is right next door, which I don't like because it's, like, just going right next door. Like, I wish I was, like, upstairs where it's, like, you go down a level. I don't know if that makes any sense to anyone whatsoever, but it does to me. Like, you're a little further away, so it's like you're going from place to place. They told me I could move to the normal unit, but I didn't get around to asking the doctor, and I did make some friends there. I didn't want to move. After a couple of days of me calming down, I didn't really want to move because I already made friends there. There was a girl there, I'm not going to say her name, but I remember her from Lower Heights, and she was so out of it. It was so sad, but, like, she left when I left, I think. For the last couple of days, she was back to normal. Angie, I think her name was, she was great. She was so nice. She helped me out the first day. She was like, I'm going to make sure you get your medication. You know, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to check your stuff, all that stuff. Two of the staff there, Kaz and Tiara, said they worked at Lower Heights simultaneously while working at Lakeview. So it's like, you know how I feel about Lower Heights. I've still got my victims page, by the way. But, you know, they weren't bad people, and I don't think everyone that works at Lower Heights is a horrible person, because usually if they come in and they start seeing what's going on, they're going to come out, be like, no, this isn't how you treat people. But side note, I don't know if I've told you guys this, but Emory, like the med residency, do not send do not send the future doctors to Lower Heights anymore, because they don't want them to see that's how you treat people. Anyways. They did have groups. My social worker, L'Oreal, was really good. She advocated for me, actually, because yesterday I went up here and said, I'm discharging tonight. She's like, you know what, November? They said you're discharging on the 15th. I was like, no. We have the 12th for November. And she advocated for me, so I do appreciate that. Let's see what else. The food was not that good. It wasn't really good at all. It was kind of like mystery meals, sometimes with mystery meat and soup and gravy and blah, blah, blah. I mean, the last day I was there for lunch, of course, they had a good meal. They had barbecue chicken, mac and cheese, and baked beans. I just ate the mac and cheese. Let's see, what else? The groups were okay. Pretty basic. Stuff I already knew. I had a therapy appointment today. So, my diagnosis is now all that in OCD because of that whole outlet incident. And I do have obsessive thoughts. But like I told my therapist, that's not something I'm willing to share with really anyone at this point. That's just my personal boundary. But they do have a lake, but you can't go outside to it. Did meet some cool people in there. Some people were kind of delusional while they're there. They're like, you know, oh, I talk to God, you know, I'm God. Which I'm not making fun of them. I'm just saying they were sick. They need help, and they need to get on the medicine so they can go back home. The girl that talked about them at Lower Heights, she finally got home. I don't know if she got home because I left before her, but she was finally clearing up the past couple of days, so hopefully these other people will too. We played a lot of spades, a lot of Uno, a lot of spades. But yeah, that's my experience. I know they have victims of Lakeview Hospital group, Lakeview Behavioral Health on Facebook, which I've asked to join. I haven't gotten the acceptance yet. But I will say that I know people have had horrible experiences at Lakeview, but mine wasn't that bad. And I'm not trying to say everyone that has a horrible experience is lying, or that I'm not trying to invalidate their experience. I'm just telling you from my perspective, and this was just my time there, my unit, because back when I was 14, I did have a bad experience at Lakeview. But other than that, I did get one shot of Zyprexa because I was hallucinating. I hallucinate almost every night there, and I haven't hallucinated since I've been back home. But every night there around 6 or 7, I start hearing voices. But I didn't tell them that the last couple of days because I wanted to go home, and I didn't want to get sent to long term. But anyways, that's what's up. That's been up me. I'm finally back in the swing of things, back in the groove of things. And thank you guys for watching. You can check out my Linktree, which is Linktr.ee/islandofpsa. Thanks, guys. Bye.